Own. I want to own you. I want to draw you into my world, a world where my rules are the only rules that matter. When I first set eyes on you, I make it my business to ascertain your suitability for ownership. You might only be owned in the sense of being a tertiary source which I interact with the once, but in that moment I own you, and I own the fuel that flows from you. I wish to brand you as my property, my appliance, my plaything. I own you, and this means that nobody else does. I have exclusive rights. I may designate you the role of secondary source, should you make the grade, and you become mine, subject to the unwritten contract that governs you and I. You are to be loyal, obedient, compliant, and a provider of fuel. If you are to be my primary source, that coveted position of supplier-in-chief of the most precious and desired fuel, then you also must be owned. You must be subjected to my total and hegemonic control. Once I decide that you are the one, I will not stop. Once that light has turned green, once the first tantalizing drops of your fuel have begun to be sucked up by me, there is no hope for anything else. You must be mine. I must own you. You at first think that I look on you with love-lorn eyes. Indeed, I do, as I turn my precious orbs into the mirrors which give you what you want to see. Behind their silvery gaze, my machined machinations are forming. I am absorbing how you smile, how you wrinkle your nose, how you play with your hair on the left-hand side of your head, never the right. I listen to the way you say scone. Do you say it so it rhymes with tone or with gone? Every word that will come from your mouth will belong to me. I want to know everything about you. Every facet of your life must now belong to me. When my hand touches you and you feel that jolt of electricity between you and me, that is my connection with you as I begin to download your life. It is true that I have already screened you, probed your life from afar, made inquiries, and observed before launching my takeover bid. I have done my homework. But now I want to dominate, conquer, and subsume. I must envelop you in my world, for then I can be sure that you will respond as I require. Loyal, reliable, and functional. Steadily I drain your identity from you, consuming it for my own use. This is part of the process of owning you. I know no boundaries. I see no limits. I recognize no restraint. I have decided that you are to belong to me, and thus this is what must happen. The steady and incremental accumulation of what you are. I have plugged you into me. I am the ultimate parasite which sucks the life from you. Your money becomes my money. Your house becomes my house. Your friends become my appliances. There is no real me. There is no substance, and thus I must steal what you are in order to give the appearance of substance. The only way I understand to do this is to own you, make you part of the fabricated world that I have woven. This dazzling fiction fools so readily, and as I part the curtain and beckon you into my wonderland, you accept, and once inside, you become mine. The real world is left behind. The real world of rules, standards, procedures, and fairness is no longer applicable to you. I own you now, and as a consequence, you are subject to my capricious nature, the arbitrary applications of my diktats and pronouncements. None of it will make any sense to you when you start to realize what is happening, but it will be too late by then. Your assimilation into me will be so far gone that you may as well just scream, and the only voice you will hear will be mine. My ownership means I tell you who to speak to and who to ignore. My ownership means that dress is wrong and that one is right until it is the other way round. Yesterday is tomorrow, which becomes today. You think Joseph K. endured the Kafkaesque nightmare of nothing making sense. You ain't seen nothing yet. I must control everything, my space, time, and the environment around you. This is why to you I seem to operate as if I have no concept of time. But that is because I do not operate to Greenwich Mean Time, but rather being mean time. I compartmentalize, shifting between worlds which must never connect, where the players and actors inside of them move to my direction. They dance to the tune that my invisible piper plays. I must not leave anything to chance. I do not like chance. It is the ruin of me and my kind. I want predictable, and eventually you will come to realize that there are few who are as predictable as our kind. We bring excitement, we bring chaos, we bring drama, but then it all is so predictable. The same manipulations, just variations on a theme. Some of us have more strings to our dark Cupid's bow, of course, but the poisoned arrows we fire all have the same effects: control and fuel. It is only by ensuring that we own you that we can be assured and convinced that you will do as we want you to, that you will not be disloyal or a traitor to us. We must plug you into us and, like some giant leech, suck the very essence from you, taking your fuel, your confidence, your self-worth, your self-esteem, and stripping you of them to ensure there is compliance, there is obedience. I want to own so that I know I will win. I want to own so I can exist. I want to own you so that everything you do is as a consequence of my decisions and my actions, which ensure that you provide me with my lifeblood whenever I demand it. You are on call and on demand, my primary source of salvation, the reason for my existence, and I dare not allow the slightest chink of autonomy for fear of losing that control. I want to own you to underline my superiority. I want to own you to remind myself that I am powerful. I want to own you so that it is repeatedly highlighted that I am the controller and you are the controlled. I want to own you to stop being the slave that I am.